this debate? Who will make it? Who won't? Is it critical to be on that stage, or are we looking at a sprint in a marathon race?
Well, I think it's important to be on the race, but I think it's possible that somebody might not make it on the stage for the first one and still could be the nominee, because it is so far out. And this is ultimately going to be about organization, structure, and winning votes in the early state. I don't think we've got a problem. The Fox News poll was the only one where I've been that low. The other ones recently, like Gallup, I was number 4. If you take an average of all the polls, I'm never less than somewhere in the middle. So barring something dramatic happening over the next week, I don't see any scenario in which I won't be on that stage in Cleveland.
Back in 2008, when you ran and won Iowa, you were the dark horse who came from behind. It was this sort of unbelievable surge. And what I'm wondering is would you rather be in the position you are right now in the middle of the pack, or was it more fun being the underdog and the comeback kid in Iowa?
Well, when you're in the middle of the pack, you're still in somewhat the underdog slot, because all the attention's being focused on whoever's in the lead.
Mr. Trump at this point.
Historically, that's not a place. Yeah, but that's not a place you want to be right now. If it were, then we'd be talking about President Giuliani, President Hillary Clinton, President Mitt Romney. But we're not talking about those guys. It was not Fred Thompson. It wasn't Mitt Romney. It wasn't Hillary. So this stage, when people are leading, they rarely end up getting the nomination, and they rarely end up winning the presidency. One
issue that you've really made a hallmark of your campaign is the issue of dealing with Iran. And a lot of presidential candidates have been talking about the deal with Iran because that's what's going on now. I've known you for a long time, saw you in the Middle East going back to 2010. You've been talking about it day in, day out, and you just released this video on Vine. Take a look. Your days is not a strategy. You made it pretty clear, Governor.
You know, Leland, what we're trying to do, and the use of the cartoon was to take a lighthearted jab at something that is deadly serious. And the deadly serious part is that this deal, and I've read all 159 pages of it, this is a deadly deal, not just for Israel, and it certainly is for them. This is a deadly deal for the world. The Iranians can't be trusted. Especially, I think Israel has a right to be concerned. We should be concerned because we have a great historical precedent. When people are saying they're going to kill Jews, they usually do. And all these 36 years that the Ayatollahs have been in power, they have consistently said that they were going to wipe Israel off the face of the map. Now, if you were a Jew living in Israel, and your parents or grandparents had been marched to Auschwitz or Birkenau or Dachau, and somebody for 36 years says, we're going to kill you, would you take that seriously? You better believe you would. And the United States needs to stand up with Israel and take it seriously, because we had some people back in the 30s who said there's no way that the Nazis will ever go out and do something as crazy as kill a bunch of Jews. The difference is, they don't have to do it through crematoriums over a span of 8 years. One nuclear blast, and they could kill 6 million Jews. I think we need to be concerned about this, Leland.
Well, a lot of folks are, and we know that back to draw the World War II comparison, Roosevelt didn't bomb the train tracks to a number of those concentration camps. Still a very, very controversial move. I want to get back to politics in terms of the race itself. So often you have been associated with social conservatism, and that's a large part of the factor that helped you win Iowa in 2008. That plays certainly well to the primary voters, and what I'm wondering is how you plan to move beyond the Mike Huckabee social conservative to Mike Huckabee, the president, who can be a social conservative, who can win the economy, and also can win the national security debate.
Well, I don't think I have to go out and prove that I'm a social conservative. People know that I certainly hold those views as true convictions. They're not political positions for me. But if they're listening to what I'm saying on the campaign trail, if they listen to the focus of the campaign, it's about 80% dealing with the combination of how to bring some economic empowerment to working class Americans, and it's about national security. That's where the focus is. And I think that sometimes the press says, okay, he's a social conservative. All right, let's stipulate that I'm a social conservative. I'm pro-life. I'm for traditional marriage. But if people listen carefully, nobody is talking more in detail about how do we make it possible for working class Americans to have a decent job that'll pay them a good wage, give them the benefits, and let them be able to be optimistic for the future for themselves and their children.
Well, and your track record in Arkansas speaks a lot to that. Governor Mike Huckabee joining us live from Florida right now.